Welcome to the English LexiRoot podcast.
At the end of this lesson, you'll know 10 essential phrasal verbs with the word go that are commonly used in everyday English. These phrasal verbs will help you talk about movement, progress, and change in a more natural and fluent way. Listen until the end, because these phrasal verbs will really enhance your ability to communicate like a native speaker. First, you're going to listen to short story to help you understand these phrasal verbs in context. Listen carefully and see how many you can catch. Then, we'll discuss each one. Here's the story.
Emma had always loved exploring new places. Last weekend, she decided to go on a road trip to a nearby town she'd never visited before. Before she left, she went over the map to make sure she knew the best route. As she was driving, her car suddenly started to go off the road. It turned out that one of her tires had gone flat. Emma didn't let this setback ruin her day. She went about changing the tire and soon was back on the road. When Emma finally arrived in town, she was thrilled to see how much there was to explore. She went through the local market, picking up some fresh produce and handmade crafts. As she continued to go around the town, she noticed a beautiful old church. Emma decided to go in and take a closer look. Inside, she was amazed by the stunning architecture and peaceful atmosphere. Later, as she was leaving the town, Emma realized she'd lost track of time. She needed to go back quickly if she wanted to avoid driving in the dark. She went off at a fast pace, determined to make it home before sunset. As she drove, she reflected on the day and how much fun it had been to go out and explore somewhere new.
Now, let's break down each phrasal verb from the story. The first phrasal verb is go on. In the story, Emma decided to go on a road trip, which means to continue or proceed with something, often a journey or activity. For example, they decided to go on a hike despite the rain. Or, the show must go on, even if there are challenges. The second phrasal verb is go over. Before Emma left, she went over the map, which means to review or examine something carefully. For example, let's go over the details one more time before the meeting. Or, she went over her notes before the exam. The third phrasal verb is go off. As she was driving, her car started to go off the road, which means to leave or deviate from a path or course. It can also mean to stop working or to explode. For example, the alarm went off at 6 a.m. Or the lights went off during the storm. The fourth phrasal verb is go about. Emma went about changing the tire, which means to start or continue doing something, especially in a particular way. For example, he went about fixing the leak with the tools he had. Or, she went about her day as usual despite the news. The fifth phrasal verb is go through. Emma went through the local market, which means to experience or examine something in detail. For example, they went through a difficult time last year. Or, she went through the documents to find the information she needed. The sixth phrasal verb is go around. Emma went around the town, which means to move or travel around a place or area. It can also mean to spread or circulate. For example, there's a rumour going around about the new manager. Or, he went around the city, exploring different neighbourhoods. The seventh phrasal verb is go in. Emma decided to go in and take a closer look at the church, which means to enter a place. For example, they went in the store to buy some snacks. Or she went in for her appointment right on time. The 8th phrasal verb is go back. As she was leaving, Emma realized she needed to go back quickly, which means to return to a place or a previous state. For example, he went back to his hometown after many years. Or she decided to go back to school to finish her degree. The 9th phrasal verb is go off. Emma went off at a fast pace, which in this context means to leave or depart quickly. It can also mean to stop working or to explode, as mentioned earlier. For example, he went off without saying goodbye. Or, the fireworks went off with a loud bang. The 10th phrasal verb is go out. Although not directly mentioned in the story, this phrase could apply to Emma's adventurous spirit. Go out means to leave your home to go somewhere, usually for social activities. For example, they went out for dinner last night. Or, she loves to go out dancing on the weekends. These 10 phrasal verbs with go are commonly used in everyday English to express a wide range of actions and movements. By incorporating these phrasal verbs into your conversations, you'll be able to communicate more effectively and naturally. Practice using these phrasal verbs and see how they enhance your ability to express ideas in English. Thank you for taking this lesson.
Thank you for listening. Be sure to subscribe to our podcast. Just click the button on your screen, share this with a friend, and keep learning with us. Bye for now.